Coronation Street's Betsy Swain is left feeling deeply embarrassed next week after Lauren Bolton convinces her to go out for a meal at the Bistro. But what leaves her so upset? Keen to support Betsy in her recovery, Lauren suggests taking her best friend out for lunch at the Bistro. Betsy agrees to the idea, but soon wishes she had stayed at home when Debbie makes a remark that knocks her confidence. It begins when Betsy accidentally knocks some cutlery onto the floor, explains our street source. Lauren immediately jumps in to help, but Debbie sees what has happened and jokes that Betsy has been drinking. Debbie doesn't realize how upsetting her words are, and there's certainly no malicious intent behind them, but Betsy is left extremely humiliated. The awkward moment comes as Debbie's family and friends grow increasingly worried about her frequent memory problems. She has recently arrived at work in slippers and later slipped back into her old hairdressing routine by giving Bethany Platt an unauthorized makeover at Audrey's salon. Debbie's husband Ronnie continues to step in whenever things go wrong, but he is becoming increasingly concerned that her dementia symptoms are progressing. Earlier in the week, Lauren goes to visit Betsy at number 6, but spends much of the time distracted by her phone while messaging Ollie Driscoll. Betsy is understandably hurt by her friend's lack of attention and opens up to her mum Lisa about how isolated she has been feeling. Later, Betsy reaches an important milestone when she manages to stand for the first time since suffering her stroke, supported by her physiotherapist. Elsewhere, Lauren tells Ollie that they should bring some cake over to Betsy's house, but will Betsy welcome the surprise visit? Lauren genuinely wants to do the right thing, our source explains. However, she gets things badly wrong with Betsy this time. You'll have to watch to see exactly how Betsy responds when Lauren and Ollie turn up. Could Betsy's friendship with Lauren be in serious trouble? Coronation Street airs a spooky Dolly Parton reference in latest episode. Did you catch it? Coronation Street viewers were left doing a double take during tonight's episode after spotting an unexpected reference to Dolly Parton. The iconic country music star passed away just yesterday, on the 25th of August. The reference was not filmed or inserted at the last minute, meaning the timing is entirely coincidental. However, fans have been quick to take to social media and highlight just how eerie the timing feels. The moment came while Todd was chatting with guest character Celeste, telling her that she probably won't be welcomed in the ranch anytime soon. "I guess there's only one thing left to do. Pray," Celeste replied. When Todd admitted that he didn't realize Celeste was religious, she explained that she was praying to the Majesty herself, Dolly Parton. Fans were quick to react to the unusual coincidence, with one viewer pointing out that the scene would have been filmed months ago rather than being specially recorded following the news. Another fan joked that Corrie had chosen the absolute worst timing to feature a character who is such a huge Dolly Parton admirer, while also arranging her own funeral. Over on social media, another viewer noted that the soap usually films around 6 to 8 weeks ahead, meaning there would have been no opportunity to rewrite the scene following the news of Dolly's death. "I know Celeste is a massive Dolly fan, but spooky timing," another viewer commented. Celeste is only set to feature in Coronation Street for a brief period, but her storyline will have a lasting impact on her niece Bernie. Next week, Bernie will be left devastated when Celeste dies, while the tragedy opens the door to even more complications. Even though she knew Celeste didn't have long, Bernie wasn't interested in making amends, explained our Corrie source. But once Celeste dies, Bernie has to live with the fact that she turned down the opportunity to reconcile, especially when a heartbreaking revelation completely turns her world upside down. What exactly was Celeste hiding? Coronation Street's Maggie and Brian face fallout as secret passion is exposed. They're becoming the hottest topic in Weatherfield. Coronation Street's Maggie Driscoll and Brian Packham are set to become the center of attention next week, as their secret night together becomes impossible to keep quiet. What was supposed to be a private encounter quickly turns into the latest piece of gossip spreading around Underworld, leaving both Maggie and Brian wondering whether they have made a serious mistake. In the latest episode, residents at the Rovers are left stunned when Brian appears downstairs following his unexpected night with Maggie. Neither of them seems prepared for how quickly their secret could become public knowledge. But in Weatherfield, keeping something private is never easy. By the following week, Kirk Sutherland gleefully reveals that Maggie and Brian's unexpected hookup has become the main subject of conversation at Underworld. What started as a private moment between two people has suddenly become factory-wide gossip. Maggie and Brian really should have been more careful, teases our Coronation Street insider. They probably hoped nobody would find out, but Weatherfield isn't exactly the place to keep a secret for long. Once one person hears something, it doesn't take long before everyone knows. Kirk is only too happy to reveal that their encounter has become the latest talking point. For Maggie and Brian, the embarrassment could be huge. Neither expected their private business to become public, and that could make things extremely awkward between them. The situation is particularly uncomfortable because there is already tension between the pair. Brian previously overheard Maggie describing their night together as disappointing, leaving him with plenty to think about. Now that their private encounter is being discussed by colleagues, any possibility of the pair developing a relationship could become even more complicated. Maggie may try to brush off the gossip, while Brian could begin questioning whether there is any point in pursuing something more serious with her. However, all the attention could have an unexpected effect. With everyone talking about them, Maggie and Brian may be forced to confront the possibility that there is genuine chemistry between them. What began as an impulsive encounter could potentially develop into something neither of them anticipated. But equally, the humiliation could prove too much for either of them. Could the gossip actually push Maggie and Brian closer together, or will the unwanted attention convince them that their brief connection was a mistake? Peter Gunn, who plays Brian, has previously admitted that he would be interested in seeing the unlikely pair explore a proper relationship. Brian and Maggie could make a really good couple, he said. I think there could be something there for them, because they're an unusual match. There's definitely more story to explore, but who knows? His comments certainly suggest that Brian's feelings for Maggie could become more complicated as their story develops. The actor has also discussed another surprising possibility for his character: Brian potentially becoming part of the Rovers team following his growing connection to Maggie. Don't tease me with that possibility. That's far too tempting, he joked. I know how to pull a pint, and that's all I'm saying. Gunn previously explained why working behind the bar at the legendary Weatherfield pub would be such a major opportunity. The Rovers is the heart of the show, and everything seems to revolve around it. As an actor, I never really pictured myself working there. It would be quite intimidating. It's legendary. He also recalled feeling nervous during his first scene in the famous pub, when he had to perform a duet with Julie. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX.